Hi everybody, Lima Zulu from Hyena Squad here. This airsoft review looks at the WE USA brand M9 series gas blowback pistols. It also features the Tokyo Marui version of the M9 for the sake of comparison, since the WE version is cloned from the TM design. WE Tech is a company with a mixed reputation. My review is based purely on my own personal experiences, both good and bad. I'm not sponsored by anyone, and I'm not a brand name fanboy. I'm just a filthy casual who buys his guns with his own money, so you can count on me to give you an honest review. All three of the M9 platform pistols in this review are green gas-powered gas blowback replicas. They all use the same Marui-style magazines. I have always maintained and cleaned them per manufacturer's instructions, and I have used a variety of green gas brands in them, including Elite Force, King Arms, Falcon, and Neutral. When my green gas cans get low and cannot fully pressurize a magazine anymore, I'll top off my mags with propane after the green gas fill, just to really squeeze everything I can out of that precious green gas container. I only ever ran straight propane in one of these guns on one occasion, and that was because I completely ran out of green gas at the field, and didn't feel like buying a new can from the pro shop since I actually had 2 cans back at home. Also, as an aside note, I personally prefer to use silicone grease rather than runny silicone spray or light oil on the big moving parts of my pistol, like the slide itself. The grease stays in place better since it is thicker. Obviously, you don't want that grease getting into the nozzle, hop-up, or barrel or anything though. The light silicone oil found in green gas will adequately lubricate those finer internals automatically as the pistol cycles. So, I have owned 2 different WE M9 airsoft pistols. The first one was the special edition Samurai Edge M9, modeled after Jill Valentine's pistol in the Resident Evil series of video games. It was a great pistol. Unfortunately, I lost it at a milsim op. It fell out of my holster. The pistol didn't have a lanyard ring, so I wasn't running retention on it. It's one of my worst airsoft regrets ever. Learn from my mistake. Never run a pistol without a lanyard when playing at a big outdoor field. The second one, which has served as my sidearm for a long time now, is the Sword Cutlass M9, based on Revy's pistol from the Black Lagoon anime. This pistol has been such an amazing workhorse for me and been run so damn hard that she truly has a special place in my heart as well as on my hip. As you may imagine, I definitely run a retention lanyard on her if I'm playing outdoors. You'll probably recognize her from some of my other gameplay videos over the years. She has certainly cleared her share of rooms in her day. The third M9 that will be discussed in this video is not a WE pistol, it's a Tokyo Marui. Like my first WE Tech, this one is modeled after the Samurai Edge from Resident Evil. I'm throwing it into this review as well, mainly for the sake of comparison. Since it is a collector's piece and made of plastic rather than metal, I don't run it as often, and I certainly don't run it as hard. The WE M9 series are cloned from this TM line, so this Tokyo Marui pistol is kind of the standard, since it is the original piece that the WE pistols were based off of. Real steel history. The Beretta M9 is a standard sidearm of the United States military, and has been used by all branches since 1985, when it replaced the venerable Colt 1911. It is a simple, reliable, and easy-to-fire pistol with comfortable ergonomics and good accuracy. It is also cheap compared to other 9mm pistols, and one of the main reasons Beretta won the contract for the military was because it had almost exactly the same test trial scores as its closest contender, the SIG P226, but cost half as much due to its simple steel construction. It has a service life of 35,000 rounds, which is pretty crazy for a pistol. Even characters in John Woo movies probably don't put that many rounds through their pistols in a lifetime. Early after its adoption by the military, the Beretta got an undeserved bad rap due to a couple of catastrophic malfunctions that occurred while being used by a SEAL team. Further investigation revealed, however, that the pistols were not defective. The SEALs were using overpowered rounds in the pistol, so it was literally a case of operator error. The M9 was the first real steel pistol I ever had any training on, seeing as it was the standard sidearm for the U.S. Army. It is big, and it is heavy. The magazine is double-stacked and holds 15 rounds. It is definitely a combat pistol. Some people complain that the grip is uncomfortably large, but that is just a matter of preference. I personally love the feel of the M9. The pistol is intuitive to shoot, and the weight of its steel construction helps keep recoil to a minimum. I've been playing airsoft for a long time, and I've had a lot of pistols in my day, most of which were pretty shitty. One of my first ever sidearms was a WE 1911 MEU. It was terrible. 2 out of 4 of the magazines leaked so bad I couldn't use them. The 2 mags that did actually work still didn't hold enough gas to fire all 14 rounds, and always ran out of pressure around 8 shots in. Also, it jammed and half-cycled constantly. It was basically unskirmishable. I swore I would never go back to WE. But then, years later, the Samurai Edge M9 caught my eye. It was Jill Valentine's gun from the Resident Evil game I'd loved so dearly when I was in high school. Nostalgia made me take a second look at that company. After doing a bit of research and talking to some local players, I was told that WE has stepped up their game, and that their current pistols are much better quality than the earlier generations. The one I ordered was supposedly made in the USA, in fact. In theory, WE USA is a branch working in partnership with Evike, where they assemble the guns here in the US and pre-upgrade the weak points with aftermarket parts before they ship them. The WE USA guns are supposed to have a better nozzle, barrel, and hop-up than the foreign WE guns. You can tell the WE USA guns easily just by pulling back the slide and looking at the nozzle. If it is blue plastic rather than black, it is one of the WE USA versions, upgraded by Evike. So I bought a Samurai Edge M9. I was pleasantly surprised. She was really nice and she ran like a champ. She never let me down and quickly became my best and most favorite pistol. There were literally only 2 things that I didn't like about her. The black finish was really terrible paint that just scratched and rubbed off easily. And she didn't have a lanyard loop, so I was always kind of nervous that I would lose her. As it turned out, I was right. I lost her. My Serpa holster failed me, and I lost her somewhere in the 109-acre wilderness of Black Ops Airsoft. If only she'd had a lanyard loop. I wanted to buy another pistol of the same model, but every US-based retailer was out of stock, even Evike. I guess it just wasn't meant to be. Enter the E4 Mafia Specialist Edition M9. After I lost my precious Samurai Edge, I went on eBay and bought a used WE M9. This one was in chrome and modeled after Revy's Cutlass pistol from Black Lagoon. One of the fake ivory grips was broken, but other than that and some holster wear, the gun was in good use condition. I figured I would stick with the WE M9 platform since I liked my Samurai Edge so much, and since I had mags for it. I made damn sure that this one had a lanyard loop. Once she arrived in the mail, I took her straight to Milwaukee Airsoft and Tactical and had Josh make a custom Kydex holster for her. I also got new grips for her, which I customized myself with some old brass pin-on rank. I may be a staff sergeant in real life, but I self-identify as a Spec 6. E4 Mafia for life. Just like the Samurai Edge, the gun chronoed 330 FPS with neutral green gas and .2 Elite Force BBs. Kind of a gas hog, though. Pretty much uses all the gas, but hey, 25 rounds is a lot for a pistol. Count on having to refill the mag every time you reload the mag. I have a variety of compatible M9 mags. 2 are WE, 1 is SOCOM gear, 1 is KJW, and 2 of them have no markings or trademarks at all. They all work in the WE Cutlass, but one of the unmarked magazines does not work in the Marui pistol for some reason, and just dumps all its gas on the second shot. Every time. All of my magazines are 25 rounders. There are 50 round extended WeTech brand mags available for this gun, but I don't own any of those. The 25 round mags by WeTech, SOCOM Gear, and KJW are TM compatible, good quality, good finish, and sturdy as hell. The 2 unbranded ones aren't as nice, but they get the job done and they don't leak. All the mags share the same design and are easy to load. You can slide the spring follower all the way down to reveal a loading port for a speed loader, rather than loading from the top one at a time like some pistols. FPS does drop to around 300 near the end of the mag, but this doesn't seem to affect accuracy. Also, as with any gas blowback, if you really go ham on the trigger and shoot too fast, the gun will have freezing issues and might not cycle fully or lock back on an empty mag. I found that with both of the WE pistols, the ideal BB weight seems to be .28 gram. If I run anything lighter than that, accuracy suffers, and the shots really seem to curve upwards after about 50 feet. I can get away with using .25s if I'm playing indoor, but it is not ideal. There are a lot more flyers and the shot group suffers. I have run the hell out of this Cutlass M9 pistol over the last couple years. Literally over 2,000 rounds, easy. I've got 6 M9 mags, each of which hold 25 rounds, so that's plenty of ammo for pistol-only games. Not only that, but when I go to events that have ammo restrictions for primaries, I'm sure to still be in the fight even if I run out of rifle ammo. One of my chrome WE mags blew a gasket and started leaking around the base plate last year, but I was able to fix it with a tube of Mechanic's gasket maker. Any other leaky mag issues I have had were simple fixes that involve no more than adding a little yellow gas thread Teflon tape to a fill valve here and there. That's just a fact of life with gas gun mags and airsoft. In warm weather, this gun chronos around 330 with .2 BBs just like the Samurai Edge. Other reviewers and certain retailer websites list this gun at close to 400 FPS, but mine certainly doesn't shoot anywhere near that hot. I run .28s in my pistols. Seems to be optimum for the hop-up they have. Usually pistols are being used at close range anyway, so they don't really have to shoot accurate over 100 feet or anything. I must say, however, that I have pleasantly surprised myself with some really long shots with this pistol. I love the build quality. The nickel finish is beautiful and durable, unlike the Samurai Edge version's horrible painted on black finish. The gun herself is a real tank. The overall weight of the piece is pretty damn close to the real steel. The barrel and slide on this gun is a little longer than on the Samurai Edge, and that extra weight really makes the recoil rather beastly for an airsoft gun. It's fucking sweet. I have noticed, however, that it has a really long trigger pull. Not a hard trigger pull, just a long one. It's kind of annoying. Not as bad as a non-blowback pistol or anything, but just kind of meh. In case you don't know, pulling the trigger on a blowback pistol merely drops the hammer from the cocked position. The slide recoil then cocks it again for the next shot. With a non-blowback pistol, pulling the trigger is cocking and dropping the hammer all at once against the pressure of the spring. This is why non-blowback pistols have notoriously long and hard trigger pulls compared to blowback pistols. The trigger on my Cutlass is easy to squeeze, but for some reason the breaking point where it drops the hammer is farther back than on either of the other M9s I have owned. It just has a long take-up, I guess. I have run this pistol hard. I have literally put 2,000 plus rounds through her, and she has been through Milsim hell and back. She's been dropped, dragged, and fallen on every imaginable surface from cement, gravel, to water, and every type of weather. One of those falls was hard and fast enough to injure me and put a crack in the back of her slide. Even after all that, she has never malfunctioned. Anyway, my E4 Mafia Specialist Edition Cutlass with the custom grips has kind of become a trademark or signature weapon of mine. Everywhere I go, even to national events all the way across the country, people compliment her. The fact that she has been such a reliable workhorse for me for so long astounds me, especially considering that I was not even her first owner. I mean, I don't think her previous owner used her a lot, but she did have some signs of wear when I got her. She wasn't a brand new gun. Now, in 2017, I made another pistol purchase. This one was an original Tokyo Marui Samurai Edge. This is the gun that my first WE USA Samurai Edge M9 was cloned from. Being a Tokyo Marui, however, it's a plastic replica rather than metal. Also, like the WE version, there is no lanyard loop. I do play with this gun every once in a while at my local indoor field, but she's really more of a collector's piece for me. I really lucked out with her, and she just kind of fell into my lap for a very reasonable price, thanks to a friend of mine. Anyway, I'm going to give my thoughts and impressions on this gun as well for the sake of comparison. For a plastic gun, the TM is incredibly well built. Obviously, it doesn't feel as nice as a metal replica, but it is a high-quality plastic for sure. It's much lighter in weight, and because of that, it doesn't kick very hard. What it lacks in recoil, though, it more than makes up for in accuracy. Holy shit, this thing shoots straight, and the sights are perfect. It is easy to control, and it just has marvelous range. I mean, I don't even feel outgunned or disadvantaged running this pistol against riflemen in a CQB environment. It's just really easy to shoot and really intuitive. Is it as fun to shoot as the metal WE versions? Well, no, it isn't. It doesn't feel anything like shooting a real gun because it's a plastic toy that hardly weighs anything and it only kicks almost as hard as a light gun from an arcade game. that said, however, it is definitely the most competitive option. I mean, my WE Cutlass M9 kicks hard and is heavy like the real thing. It's loud and intimidating, but not exactly the most accurate gun in the world. Part of that is the recoil being a little harder to manage, but part of it is the fact that sometimes the WE guns just shoot flyers, even when braced on a rest. Whatever magical girl anime dust the spellweavers at Tokyo Marui have developed for their barrels and hop-up units, it's amazing. The slide, the body, and the grips are much nicer looking than the WE Samurai Edge. They don't scratch easily, and the finish and texture is just gorgeous. Until you touch it or scrutinize it extremely close up, you cannot actually tell that it is plastic. It really doesn't even have any particularly obvious mold lines either. The paint on the details and the sights is perfect too. I really can't praise TM's attention to detail enough. I love this gun, and I'm very fortunate that she just kind of fell into my lap thanks to a friend. The main concern that I have about the Tokyo Marui version is durability. Not that it isn't a high-quality replica or anything, because it is, but plastic is plastic. Even really nice, beautifully textured plastic, it has to have its limitations. So, I admit, I've babied this gun. I haven't run it as hard as my WE pistols, and I never will. I mean, I know that there is no way that this gun would have survived that fall I took at Broken Dagger 2. It would have fucking shattered. It's plastic. The fall fucked up my arm, my hip, a Kydex holster, cracked the slide in the sturdiest, heaviest airship pistol I've ever seen, and messed up the metal folding stock on my FNC. There is no way that the Tokyo Marui plastic could have survived that. So here's my final rundown of the 3 gas blowback M9 pistols. These are my personal ratings of each of the 3 pistols, based on extensive play with them. I didn't use a scientific method to get these numbers. It's just my opinion based on my experiences with each of them. For me, the most important feature in a sidearm is reliability. This design seems to be reliable as hell in both its plastic Marui incarnation and the metal WE version. None of these M9s have ever let me down. So, which pistol is the best? Well, I guess that depends on what you're looking for in your pistol. The WE pistols are tough and sturdy, they kick hard, and are a lot of fun. The TM is fun to shoot, but kind of in the same way that an arcade light gun game is fun to play. It's really accurate and has a wonderful trigger. Does it feel like a real gun? No, not at all. Does that matter to you? If you're looking for a gas blowback M9 that has amazing performance, range, and accuracy, the Marui is for you. If you're looking for a blowback M9 that is heavy, feels like a real gun when you hold it, is loud, and has a really fun kick when you shoot it, go with the WE USA M9 series. Thanks for watching.